The story you have watching is a long, gentle sleep story titled A Quiet Cabin in Snowy Mountains. The snow doesn't stop. It falls with deliberate slowness now, as if each flake has been given permission to linger in the air for longer than gravity should allow. They drift in lazy spirals, catching faint glints of moonlight before settling onto the already thick white layer covering everything. One flake presses itself flat against the window pane right in front of you. It hesitates there, a perfect crystal star for a single breath, then melts into a clear droplet that traces a meandering line down the glass, pulling briefly at the sill before disappearing into the wood. Another follows the same unhurried path, then another. The window is a half-fogged mirror now, inside warmth, meeting outside cold, turning the dark pines beyond into soft, dreamlike shapes that blur at the edges, as though the mountain itself is half asleep. Inside the cabin, the fire has surrendered to embers. The logs that blazed so steadily earlier are reduced to a low, pulsing red glow, veins of heat running through blackened wood. The warmth still radiates outward in slow waves, wrapping the room like an invisible quilt. You remain exactly where you were, sunk deep into the wide armchair, the thick wool blanket having slipped down to rest loosely around your hips. You make no move to draw it higher. The room is warm enough. The small effort required feels distant, unnecessary, like a task belonging to another person in another life. Your hands lie open on the armrests, palms upward, fingers softly curled, waiting for nothing, expecting nothing. The old mantel clock has long since given up. Its hands are frozen at some forgotten hour. Roman numerals faded to pale shadows under years of smoke and dust. Perhaps the battery quietly died, or perhaps the clock simply decided that tonight time was irrelevant. Without its faint ticking, the cabin exists outside of minutes and hours. You measure existence now only by the rise and fall of your own breath. In out, in out. Each cycle is complete in itself, needing no sequel. Outside, the wind remembers its manners. It arrives as the gentlest sigh, moving through the pines without haste, stirring the snow on the porch into delicate, rolling waves that resemble moonlight on water. The branches bow slightly, release their burdens in slow cascades of powder that spiral downward in widening circles. Before joining the silent sea below, one heavy limb, overburdened, gives a single low creak, then lets go. A soft thud ripples outward, swallowed almost instantly by the muffling white. The echo fades before it can travel far. You consider, for the briefest moment, the narrow path that once led down from the cabin to the valley road. It no longer exists. The storm has erased every trace, your own footprints from hours earlier, already filled and smoothed. No tired tracks, no animal prints, no sign that anything has ever passed this way, but snow and wind. The solitude does not feel heavy or sad. It simply is, clean, complete, like the untouched blanket of white stretching in every direction. You are here, the cabin is here, the mountains are here. Nothing else is required. The embers pulse in quiet conversation with themselves. Red brightens to orange for a heartbeat. A tiny forgotten splinter catches and flares briefly, then sinks back into darkness. You observe without attachment, without curiosity. The lamp in the corner has dimmed to almost nothing. Its amber pool barely touches the floorboards now. Shadows have claimed most of the room's soft, merging shapes that could be bookshelves, hanging coats, stacked firewood, or simply empty space pretending to be something else. Your eyelids lower completely, not into sleep, not yet, but into a deeper rest. Thoughts float past like snowflakes outside, formless, directionless, dissolving the instant you notice them. A memory surfaces, a kettle whizzing on a stove years ago, steam curling upward, the sound bright and ordinary, then slips away without resistance. It might have been this cabin or another one or no cabin at all. The memory does not insist on being remembered. The wind finds the smallest crack around the doorframe and whispers through it. The sound is intimate, almost tender, like murmured words carried from a great distance. You do not strain to understand. You simply let the soft hiss wash over you, blending with the slow rhythm of your breathing. Far off, an owl speaks twice into the night. Two low, rounded notes, spaced perfectly apart. Then nothing. The mountains hold many such voices, but tonight they are sparing with them, as if the creatures to have agreed to quiet. The call hangs for a moment in your awareness, then melts away like the snowflakes on the glass. Your breath has matched the embers now, slow, shallow, unhurried. Inhale, the glow shifts faintly. Exhale, a single spark lifts, twists, disappears into the chimney. The blanket moves with your chest in the smallest possible rise and fall. The only motion left in the room. Time does whatever it wishes. The snow builds higher outside, layer upon patient layer, until the world is nothing but soft white hush. Inside, the cabin breathes in time with you, slow, steady, complete. Eventually, the last ember winks out. No drama, no sudden darkness, just a gentle fading, like twilight giving way to full night. The room is black now except for the faintest silver outline around the window where moonlight filters through thinning clouds and reflects off endless snow. You do not reach for more wood. You do not turn up the lamp. There is no discomfort to fix. No need to act up. The chair gives one quiet creak as you adjust your weight, settling deeper. Your head tips back against the cushion, neck relaxes, shoulders drop, jaw unclenches, hands soften completely. The final small knots of tension unwind and drift away like smoke that has already left the chimney. Outside, the snowfall has ceased at last. The world stands motionless, perfectly white, perfectly silent. Inside, the darkness is total, yet it does not feel empty. It feels full of quiet, of warmth trapped in wool and wood, of the simple fact of being here. You slip into sleep, or something even gentler than sleep. No dreams arrive to disturb you. Dreams would ask for attention, and tonight nothing asks for anything. You float instead, held exactly where you are by the chair, the blanket, the cabin walls, the mountains beyond, the night itself. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to become. Hours pass without name or number. The fire is long cold. The blanket stays warm from your own heat. The chair cradles you without shifting. The snow lies undisturbed on every surface. The mountains remain where they have always stood. The night does not hurry toward morning. It simply continues. And so do your resting, breathing, being wrapped in the longest, quietest hush the mountains have ever known.